Today, my friends, we're going to take a look at some dangerous characters. So there's going to be a quiz, okay? The most dangerous and the most harmless, okay? So take these two characters, for instance. Which one is the most dangerous? I sort of think it's that kid. That kid, you know. I'm doing great, Mr. Duck, right? I'm doing great. Just move on with the next one. Next we have a giant bird and a little guy with a sword or something, a machete. Which do you think is the most dangerous? I sort of think it's the bird. Look how huge he is. Okay, this one's an easy one. It's the big guy, am I right? I finally got it. That baby couldn't harm a flea. Huh? Back to the drawing board, my friends.
Hey there, Funko fans. Today we're going to take a look at the next set of pops in my SDCC haul. So that's the San Diego Comic-Con. There are a bunch of exclusives that came out for that event. So we'll be taking a look at those. But before I get started, just a quick reminder that there's a giveaway on the channel for the Flocked Sully pop. So he is celebrating 250 subscribers on the channel. I think we're about 270 something by now. But check that out. There's a giveaway video just before this one. You will want to enter that if you're in the US or Canada, 18 years of age or older, or you have your parents' permission. So without further ado, let's get started. So this one is one that I am very happy about. One of my favorite childhood cartoons from the 1980s. It is Captain Caveman! And you're probably saying, what on earth is this? Well, if you're an older person such as me, you are well familiar with this fine superhero, but he was one of these, I believe it was the Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters. That's what he looked like in the cartoon, just crazy adventures. So this is very cool. I'm glad to have him. He's the 2018 Summer Convention Limited Edition. He is the Walgreens exclusive, so let's get stuck into this. Check him out. Captain Caveman! Here he is! Fantastic. He looks a little shorter and dumpier than in the cartoon, and I've simplified the face a fair bit, especially the eyes, sort of expressionless pop eyes. But I like how they have these feet hanging out of the bottom, and actually it'd be cool if they did a flocked version of this. That's something I'd pick up for sure. So he's got his weapon here. I think he actually used that to fly as well. I'm not that, my memory is not that good. And here's his cape, orange and black spotted. Very nice. And of course, this crazy hair, these few strands here, and it looks like we've got a bit of paint issues up here. Not quite sure what's going on there. That could even be glue. But yeah, he is a pretty cool pop. Couple of little blemishes there, but otherwise that is definitely Captain Caveman, unmistakable. So let's move on to the next pop. So this one is one that I was sort of confused about until I saw the movie recently. We actually went to the drive-in to check this out. Love the movie, and now I feel like I need to collect all the variants of this figure. That is Edna Jack-Jack. That's right, one of the most ridiculous variants of Jack-Jack. There are so many. I think there's at least, what, half a dozen of them? Leave a note in the comments if I'm missing some. We got Fire Jack-Jack, Chrome Jack-Jack, this one, the regular common, I think there's also a chase version, so maybe 5. So let's have a look here. So here's the whole gang. I've actually been trying to track these down. I did not pick them up at the time. I'm still missing a few, but there will be some in a future video. I'll show you what I picked up and then we'll try to complete the collection at some point. So let's take a closer look at Edna Jack Jack. I won't spoil what happens, why Jack Jack has the head of Edna, but let's take a look at the pop. So this is actually unbelievably tiny. I didn't realize how small. So got the little diaper on there. This is like one of the simplest pops you can get. Not much detail at all, but it's just hilarious. I had to get this one. It was from Amazon, so I was really hoping the Amazon exclusives weren't damaged, and I was actually pretty lucky in that respect. They packed them pretty well. So there we go. Not much to see there. It's definitely Jack Jack with the head of Edna, and I'm not sure, I don't have any of the others, but is the body the same as the other Jack Jacks? I've just whacked on an Edna head. If you know, leave a note in the comments. I'm curious about that. So that is probably one of the most ridiculous SDCC pops. Maybe Captain Caveman is a close second. So let's take a look at another one. So this one was pretty cool. Don't know what to say about it. They're all sort of similar, but this one is the 2018 Summer Convention Limited Edition Star Wars Imperial Patrol Trooper. Again, this one's from Amazon. So there he is. And no doubt this is going to be a bobblehead. So who are the other characters? This is probably from the Solo wave by the look of it. I think I recognize some of these. Yeah, we've got a Mud Trooper. That would be cool to get, but I think that was one of those hard to get Funko shop exclusives. Probably worth a fortune by now. So let's take a look at the Imperial Patrol Trooper. Yep, that's a bobblehead. Really love the bobbling action on these, and I think, yep, these newer ones, they're actually gluing down to the stands. So that is very cool pop, nicely detailed armor. Got a nice weapon there, various things on the back, its belt. Not much to say really. The classic Star Wars style mask and the bobblehead action. So very cool. I'm not a big Star Wars collector, but I do have a couple of others, mostly Chewies at this stage. I think I've got a couple of those. So yeah, that's a nice addition to the collection. And finally, we've got another Amazon exclusive. This one, another movie I just saw recently, actually this past week, finally, was Thor Ragnarok. So this is from a nice moment in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, Thor's eyes are glowing. He's got some glowing things around his hands, and this is glow in the dark as well, so we'll check that out in a minute to see how well that works. So there is Thor. Let's take a look here. So Thor, Hulk, I believe we don't have that Hulk variant. We have the green and blue one with the blue helmet, blue armor. So I have to track that one down at some point. We've got Loki, Hela, Valkyrie and Heimdall. So collect the whole gang. Let's take a look at Thor. And here he is. Yes, another bobblehead. These Marvel characters are all bobbleheads pretty much. I'm trying to think of any that are not. Actually, not all the Deadpools are. I think there's a few that are not. But yep, he is a cool pop. And Thor, what happened to your hair? You're probably wondering. Well, if you've seen the movie, you know what happened. That was a pretty funny moment. So very cool details on the armor here. I like the strands of electricity around his hands. And of course the glowing eyes. And here's another observation. One eye is glowing, the other is not. So another thing, if you've seen the movie, you know what that's about. There's his cloak. And if you prefer these short-haired Thor versus a long-haired Thor, leave a note in the comments. Actually, I'm sort of ambivalent. I think they both look pretty cool. So let's see how this guy does in the darkness. So there he is, very cool. Nice glow there. This is almost pitch black in the room here. But you can see he's got a good glow. And I'm wondering how long that will actually last for. So it's starting to fade just a little bit, but I'm surprised by how long that's lasting. And it's actually harder to see than the camera. The camera's picking it up better than my eyes can see it, but there's still noticeable glow there. So yeah, it looks like that will probably last a minute or two. So very cool. So let's turn the lights back on and take one last look at Thor before we wrap up the video. Alright, so that was the glow-in-the-dark Thor. Let me know what you think of that glowing action. Is that better or worse than some other glow-in-the-dark pops you've seen in the past? I actually think he's probably the first one I have in the collection that glows, so that is very exciting. So, before we wrap this up, we do have some more SDCC hauls on the way, but if you've stuck around to the end here, I've got a little surprise. So we actually have some extras here. So there's an extra glow-in-the-dark Thor and Ant-Man. The story behind this is the Ant-Man I ordered on Barnes & Noble online. I wasn't sure if I would be able to pick one up at the store, so I ordered him. Then I didn't know if the order actually went through. I didn't get an email from them, so picked one up at the store. So I'll be doing a giveaway at some point for this guy. And same with Thor. The story with Thor is not that impressed with Amazon's shipping of pops typically, so I ordered an extra one to get, what do we have here, like 4, yeah, these 3 came in the same box, so I wanted to get 4 so they would all fit nicely, so I think that helped. So again, stay tuned. You're going to want to stick around. You're not going to want to miss this one. If you have not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more pop unboxings. We've got more SDCC hauls to come. And be sure to tap the notification bell to be notified as soon as new videos are released. Thanks for watching and see you around.